And welcome back, Brush Monkeys. This week we're starting in on the table for the Wizard's Chamber. And you can see it's got all kinds of little stuff on it. It's got a little ink pot there. It's got a scroll and a book, wand. It's got another little lizard on its table there. Skull and candle, and of course the table itself, and a little necklace there. So a lot of little details on this thing. And this is going to be a little more involved in painting. I've got dark wood and sylvaneth bark for the table itself. To paint that whole thing, and then wraith bone and ushabti bone for the, this is Iraqi sand. It's basically the Vallejo equivalent of a ushabti bone for the book and scroll and skull. Pallid bone for all three of those to kind of bring out that texture. I've got ivory for the candle itself, and yellow for the what's essentially going to be the flame, because there's no the flame in the OSL. There's no no actual wick sticking up out of there, but we're going to do a little bit of OSL on that anyway. Blood Angels red for the cover of the book and the bookmark going down the middle there. You got Black Templar for this ink pot here on the side. Orc Flesh green and Niblet green for the little lizard. That's going to be kind of tricky to get that, but we're going to get it anyway. And then base of Palomino gold and Greedy gold for the necklace, the medallion on there. And finally, basic dirt for this other wand here. And we'll probably give it a light dry brush of sylvaneth bark as well, just to kind of tie that all in together. But yeah, this has got a lot more stuff going on, a lot more detail to do on it, and I think it's going to be a little more involved in getting everything together. So we're going to go ahead and pause here and get started on it, and then we'll come back and see how it looks. All right, see you in a bit. All right, Brush Monkey, so there's the table and the little wand on top of it done and dry brushed. Dry brush didn't do a whole lot, just picked out some of the little edges of the table and things like that. So up next we're going to do the skull, the book, the parchment scroll here, and the top of the ink pot in wraith bone and Iraqi sand. And then I was looking at the ink pot, and it looks like the ink pot has a little thing tied onto the top of it like a cover. So we're going to do that in leather. Just give it a little ink pot cover there. But we're going to do all that, and then we'll come back and see how they look once we've gone over them with the pallid bone and the leather. See you soon. Bye. Alright, boys and girls, there is the scroll and the book and the top of the inkwell and the skull, all base coated. I went ahead and painted the inkwell itself. I'm going to give it a slight little dry brush of Necron compound. There's not a whole lot to it, so I'm just going to give it a little bit there. And I painted the book cover already and the bookmark, so you can see that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the Necron compound and the leather on the inkwell, and then we'll come back and see how it looks, and then we'll do the books. Okay, see you in a bit. Alright, so maybe a little difficult to see, but there's the inkwell done, and it's looking pretty spiff. So up next we're going to go ahead and do the pallid bone on the pages and the skull, and then we'll come back and see how that looks. I got something cool planned for either the book or the scroll. I'm not sure which I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to do some, because the conjured head in the Kalgun was kind of a Tesseract glow green. I think I may do some green lettering on here, make it look like he's casting the spell, and the wizard himself is holding an orb that I'm going to do in green. So I think between that and the book and the conjured head, it's going to look like he's casting the spell to conjure that head, and it's going to look really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and go do the pallid bone, and then we'll come back and see how it looks. All right, see you in a bit. Alright, there's the books done. scrolls. I'm going to let those dry for a little bit. In the meantime, we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the really tiny details. The little green lizard there and that gold necklace. Also notice the necklace looks like it's got a big flat area on the front of it, like a gemstone. So I'm going to paint that royal purple. But first we've got to paint the necklace and the lizard. So I'm going to go ahead and go do the lizard first, and then we'll come back and see how it looks, and then we'll do the necklace. All right, see you in a bit. Alright, so there's our little lizard sorted, and you can see I got the base coat of the Palomino gold down on the necklace. So I'm going to go ahead and do the greedy gold on that one. Is it greedy gold? Yeah, greedy gold on that one. And then we'll do the, I'm doing royal purple for the gemstone. It's kind of a metallic purple for that. I think it's going to look really good. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and go do that, and then we'll come back and see how it looks. All right. See you in a bit. Alright, there is the necklace done. Pretty happy with how that turned out. And I got, you can see I did put another layer of pallid bone on the scroll here because I'd actually missed a little line up there. But I also got the Tesseract glow. It's a little hard to see on this, but got the Tesseract glow in the pages, or in the lettering. Tried to get it in the lettering. Gonna see if I can do this on camera. The lettering is kind of engraved in there, so it's a little hard to see, but if I thought about it, I would have gone over this in white first and then the Tesseract glow, but there we go. Yeah, there we go. Now we got the Tesseract glow glowing in there, and it looks like that's the passage out of the book that he's reading that's conjuring up the head. So I'm pretty happy with that. So the last thing left to do is the candle in ivory, and then the little flame at the top in yellow, and we'll be ready to stick this guy into the diorama. So pretty happy with how he's turning out so far. So I'm going to go ahead and do the candle. We'll come back to take one last look at it before we glow him into the diorama. All right, see you in a bit. Alright, boys and girls, there is our finished work table in the so far completed wizard's room. Coming along pretty well. So we just got the bookcase. Next week we're going to do the bookcase. It's going to go up against the wall. It's going to be another one like this where it's kind of a simple color scheme, but there's going to be a lot of detail to it. And then last but not least, the wizard. And then we'll do the wrap-up video. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, click subscribe. In the meantime, check out my other social medias on Instagram, Facebook, Hive, Tumblr, couple others. I'm literally everywhere. Flying Monkey Studios. Go check that out, and thanks for watching, and in the meantime I will see you guys later. Have a good day.